everybody. Glad you're here with us. I'm Stephanie Reddy, joined by Steve Smith and Candace Parker. And as I mentioned earlier, we wish you a happy Veterans Day from everyone here at the Warm Up family. It's a special night because we've got 6 games, including a doubleheader right here on NBA TV. First game's at 7, second game's at 10:30. But there's another game that everyone is going to be watching. It's Kawhi Leonard not hosting the trophy, but facing the team that hoisted the trophy with him. First time playing the Raptors. Let's hear from Kawhi Leonard.
I mean, it's a former team I won a championship with, but I mean, it's any other game. It's gonna be, fun to see the guys again and, just congratulate them and, be able to shake hands and compete.
Have you been staying in touch with any of them at all?
Yeah, a few of them. We talk a little bit.
Kawhi, outside of the championship, what will you remember about your year in Toronto?
The guys, the journey, you know what I mean? Also the country, the city, it was amazing. And, there's just so much you could keep going on and talking about it.
The year that we had was incredible. And, Danny is definitely the guy that I can say is a friend of mine. So it's definitely good to see him.
You looking forward to another reunion tomorrow?
Oh, man. Yeah, another game, tough game, against Kawhi and, seeing the guys over there. So we don't get no break. So just got to go out there and play hard again and try to get another win.
What will it be like playing against Kawhi?
Oh, it'll be great. Great for us. I don't think I've had the opportunity to play against him. I had the privilege to play with him on the same team, but I think playing against him would be fun and just I think just seeing those guys, seeing him again after the run that we had last year, super fun.
What did you take away from being his teammate last year?
I think a lot. I mean, I think his poise and how he doesn't really get rattled and things like that. So I try to do that and add that to my game. And when I miss, a couple of shots, you got guys like Freddie in my ear a little bit, telling me to continue to shoot and just stay confident. And I think that's something that he had. He always had that.
It's going to be great. It was great to see Danny tonight. It's going to be great to see Kawhi. I mean, Josh, you go through something like that in a really close kind of confined. You're all kind of sealed in together, fighting that out for a couple months. So you get a special experience there. And in saying that, I'm going to stay up late tonight trying to devise some kind of scheme to try to make life very difficult on him tomorrow.
Well, much easier said than done, making life difficult for Kawhi Leonard. He has been on a tear early this season. He, of course, coming off of winning the Finals MVP, hoping he can do it with a third different team, which I think would be amazing. Your thoughts on Kawhi and his early play for the Clippers?
I think he's been fantastic. I mean, everyone wants to talk about the load management, and that's another story. But when you just look at the product on the floor, I mean, to me, Kawhi's getting better, Candace. I mean, I'm watching a guy he answered my question, can he carry a team? He did that. What's next for Kawhi? Never thought you put him in a situation where he's getting 7, 8 double-digit assists. And then the efficiency he's doing it. He's only playing like 30-something minutes and being able to put up those type of numbers and still win. And teammates like playing with him. I still say another couple more years, Candace, we going to see even more added to his game. He's like one of those players that came in as just like a total sponge. And now you just keep adding stuff to him. And he's becoming one of those players that he's still shocking me because the maturation of him being able to pass the basketball as a point guard now, getting others involved is just unreal for me.
Well, you look at the way in which he approaches the game of basketball. I mean, he kind of came onto the scene with the Spurs. And everybody knew who Kawhi Leonard was. But when he won a championship and got Finals MVP, everybody got everybody's attention. And then he goes to the Raptors, and he changes that franchise around. And every one of those guys had that same personality and took on his demeanor. And then now he comes to the Clippers. And it's kind of the best of both worlds, where they were that blue-collar attitude franchise, and he came in and it was a perfect fit. And he's able to close games. That's the biggest thing. In the fourth quarter, when the Clippers are down, they're behind 10, 12 points, Kawhi comes in, makes baskets happen, gets to the free throw line. He's that guy that can play both sides of the ball. He plays defense, offense. I mean, he's top 2. He's top 2 on the planet for basketball.
Candace, we've been around players, and we all have, even Kill. I haven't ever seen even kill like this. I saw a spectacular play the other day. I think it was by Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. Everybody was jumping up, and they panned right to Kawhi. And you sitting there just like this. I mean, to be able to stay even keel into those moments, I was unbelievable last year from hitting that game-winning shot because I was more excited about the reaction I saw from Kawhi than the shot, which was amazing. He's amazing that a kid can stay that composed, Candace, and through him making shots and others making big shots. I haven't seen anything like this.
It's composure, and it resonates through his entire team, through the entire organization, and you see that.
It's impressive, and you're right. I was very excited to see the emotion. It was the most we'd ever seen from him, and that is hard to do, to keep it like this all the way through. Now, there's another team in LA, the Lakers. They lost to the Toronto Raptors. Raptors have a second night of a back-to-back tonight. How well did they play? They broke the Lakers' 7-game win streak. Pascal Siakam had a double-double, as did Fred VanVleet, who started in place of the injured Kyle Lowry. It's almost like a replay of last season, where it doesn't matter if someone's out, the Raptors are trying to figure it out.
Well, they're guys around Kawhi. Everybody talks about Kawhi, and that was the reason why they got over the hump. Well, these guys are pretty good, too. And as we've seen, Pascal Siakam's kind of played behind Kawhi. He is that guy that can stretch the floor, can handle the ball, gets out in transition. I mean, the Toronto Raptors outscored the Lakers in transition yesterday, and that was the entire game. They played defense, got stops, got out in transition, and so it really tested. I mean, the Lakers coming into that game were #1 in defense in the league, and after that, I mean, Toronto put on a clinic in terms of getting up and down the court.
You know, for me, Candace, and you had those games with the Lakers. You lose games, all teams, but for what you said and what I watched was transition defense. I circled that in my mind. I kept looking is this a commitment that the Lakers, can they fix this? The way you gotta want to be able to get back in defense. It looked like against the Raptors that they just didn't have enough to keep up with the speed of the Raptors. This is one area I know in the playoffs it slows down that I'm a little concerned with the Lakers.
Well, we talked a little bit about what they're doing, the Clippers and the Toronto Raptors. Let's talk about our breaking news that we just heard. Chris Middleton will miss 3 to 4 weeks with a left thigh contusion. This is per league sources. Shams tweeted this. I don't think they can afford to miss out on Chris Middleton. Remember, he's an all-star. He is supposed to be the #2 to the MVP. How are they going to sustain their play?
Well, the one guy for me is Eric Bledsoe. I think this is where you step up now. You don't try to do more than what you can do. You don't try to come out and just try to score your points and Chris Middleton, but you definitely have to hold your own. And I think as far as shooting, they're going to miss him, but they have some guys that can knock down shots. There's always the next man up. But I would think picking a guy that right now has to step up, not his points and leadership, just be the best version of himself to me is Eric Bledsoe.
I think Eric Bledsoe, but I think Giannis is going to have to be
even
more of a playmaker. And by that, I'm saying, it's easy to come down and you dish out to Chris Middleton and he hits the 3. Now, Giannis you're going to have to start manufacturing those points, make them up. I don't know if Eric Bledsoe is able to raise his points per game by 10 to 12, which you're going to need. So you're going to have to do the little things. You're going to have to get on the offensive glass. You're going to have to knock down free throws, which is something that Giannis has struggled with over this year and over the course of his career. So, hey, listen, this is a great time for the reigning MVP to step up even more and show us more of what's in his bag.
Ooh, more aggression from the MVP. That sounds like
he's
fun.
He's going to try. That's
right?
the one thing I know.